Hello NBA fans, every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I'm counting on you to subscribe to the channel and leave your. The Lakers are experiencing uncertainty regarding Austin Reaves, a key player for the team. However, he declined a new contract extension, leading the Lakers to consider trading him in early 2026 to avoid losing him for nothing. LeBron James is signaling that this is his last year with the Lakers, and a new star will be needed to support Luka Doncic in the future. A more realistic and concrete option would be to trade Austin Reaves, to avoid losing him for nothing in free agency. This is a suggested major trade, with the Lakers having the best duo in the NBA. The Lakers sign Giannis Antetokounmpo and part with Austin Reaves in February 2026. The Los Angeles Lakers could be a suitor for Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo next year, should the Greek Freak have the City of Angels on his preferred list of trade destinations. CBS Sports' Sam Quinn believes the timing could be right for a Giannis blockbuster next year, and not this year, because Austin Reaves would be on an expiring contract and LA would have an extra tradable draft pick. It's possible that there are teams who are not currently positioned to trade for Antetokounmpo but could be in a year, Quinn wrote. The obvious example of such a team would be the Lakers. Right now, Los Angeles only has one tradable first-round pick. That's in 2031. But next summer, that number jumps to 3, their 2026, 2031, and 2033 selections. That makes a trade a bit more plausible, especially with a signed and traded Austin Reaves in the mix as well. While the Lakers could trade Reaves now, the Bucks would be getting him with no long-term assurances. He's virtually unextendable at his low present salary, so Milwaukee would likely prefer to be able to negotiate a sign-and-trade first. This obviously wouldn't represent a fair return in a trade for Antetokounmpo, but on an expiring contract, he'd have far more leverage to scare off other teams. The Lakers will likely be without LeBron James by the summer of 2026. James is being linked to one last return to the Cleveland Cavaliers, though it won't happen anytime soon by a trade. LeBron has also long been linked to teaming up with Steph Curry on the Golden State Warriors, despite the latter deeming it unlikely this past December. The Dallas Mavericks loom as perhaps the greatest threat to steal James because of his championship ties to Kyrie Irving from his Cavs career and the 2020 bubble championship with Anthony Davis on the Lakers. With James on the way out, adding a second star to pair with Luka Doncic becomes a priority for Rob Pelinka. Would he go for Antetokounmpo, though, or would he wait for the summer of 2028 to sign Nikola Jokic? Time will tell. But consider the Lakers as live threats for both if Antetokounmpo and/or Jokic become available. Rival executive says the quiet part out loud about Austin Reaves' Lakers' future. Austin Reaves needs to prove he can help Luka Doncic win, immediately. The Los Angeles Lakers have invested in Austin Reaves as their proverbial project player. Over the past 4 seasons, Los Angeles has steadily increased Reaves' role and playing time, positioning him to emerge as a crucial contributor. Reaves is now knocking on the door of all-star status, but the time for patience has officially ended, and the clock could thus be ticking on his time with the Lakers. Los Angeles signing Luka Doncic to a 3-year extension has created new expectations for everyone on its roster. Reaves is chief among those players, as Doncic led the Dallas Mavericks to the 2024 NBA Finals and wants nothing less than championship glory moving forward. According to Tim Bontemps of ESPN, a rival executive made it perfectly clear what Reaves has to do to secure his Lakers' future, prove he can step up in the playoffs alongside Doncic. This is a big season for him, one Western Conference assistant coach said. He'd better bring it in the playoffs, because he's got to be good enough to pair with Doncic. Whether fair or foul, Reaves is now going to be held to a simple standard: play at a high enough level to help Doncic contend or expect changes to arrive. Time for patience is over if Austin Reaves can't help Luka Doncic win. Reaves has increased his per-game averages in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and three-point field goals made across every NBA season he's played thus far. That certainly suggests he's on an upward trajectory, especially when one considers the strength of his 2024-25 campaign. Reeves finished this past season with averages of 20.2 points, 5.8 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 1.1 steals, and 2.7 three-point field goals made per game on .460/.377/.877 shooting. The dynamic has changed, however, since the Lakers acquired Doncic ahead of the 2025 NBA trade deadline. Reeves is no longer playing in the role of a third star, but is soon to be tasked with potentially operating as the number 2 alongside a new franchise player. Bontemps also reported that a rival executive believes Reeves could command a salary in the range of $30 million per season, thus increasing the minimum accepted for a nightly performance even further. Reeves has benefited immensely from being a cost-efficient player over the past 4 seasons. He'll still operate under that label in 2025-26 when he makes just $13,937,574 before likely declining his player option for the 2026-27 campaign and entering unrestricted free agency. The difference between making less than $14 million and more than $30 million per season is more than financial, however, as the standards for performance also shoot through the roof. Assuming he re-signs for the aforementioned figure, the nightly expectation will be star-caliber contributions. Furthermore, Reeves will be tasked with helping a superstar in their prime secure the championship they've already come close to winning. If Reeves can't live up to those expectations in 2025-26, then it's fair to question if the Lakers will be able to justify a hefty new contract. Rob Pelinka's comfort zone spells danger for Lakers title hopes. The Los Angeles Lakers cannot have Rob Pelinka operating without pressure. Job security is a nice thing to have under regular circumstances. However, fans of the Los Angeles Lakers will be concerned to know Rob Pelinka may just have a little too much of it moving forward. Dave McMenamin appeared on Hoops Talk with Alan Sliwa. The NBA insider mentioned that Pelinka's spot with the Lakers is not in any immediate jeopardy, even amid a looming ownership change. McMenamin said, "Part of the deal involves Jeannie Buss being the acting governor moving forward. So long as Jeannie is in place, we also know that that means that Rob Pelinka will be in place, because Jeannie's the one who has elevated him every step of the way." The ESPN insider explained there is no reason to anticipate the way the Lakers operate changing dramatically whatsoever in the short-term future. While no one here is actively rooting for Pelinka's displacement, pressure creates diamonds. This overwhelming comfort is not good for the Lakers. Rob Pelinka needs a sense of urgency for the Lakers to thrive. McMenamin noted 2 separate reports about how long Buss is expected to remain as governor of the Lakers. The Athletic reported it would be 5 years. ESPN's Ramona Shelburne noted it would be at least 3. The reporter opted to call it down the middle and say it was 3 to 5. The direct implication of that would be Pelinka staying unchallenged and unbothered in his current position for that same time span. This is where feelings of discomfort start to creep in. Pelinka has been a mixed bag as a general manager for the Lakers. There has been plenty of great, good, disappointing, and undeniably atrocious during his time in the front office. The concern would be leaving too much room for the uglier side of what Pelinka brings as a general manager, without him feeling under the gun to execute to his fullest capacity. Granted, the Lakers' president of basketball operations has been riding a hot streak. That all started, of course, with the acquisition of Luka Doncic. Locking him up to a 3-year, $165 million extension only further cemented that win. The offseason also started off on a rough note with the departure of Dorian Finney-Smith. However, Pelinka did recover and recoup DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, and Jake LaRavia after that initial blow. Rob Pelinka, having optionality is key to building teams. I think we have seen some teams get stuck in the aprons, and once you're in them it's hard to get out of them. The optionality is there for us to use now if the right move comes its way. We want to make smart moves. Los Angeles is now poised to remain flexible in pursuit of a long-term partner for Doncic, and they still have a fair bit of assets to do that. All of that should be credited to Pelinka. There is just an inescapable feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Perhaps Pelinka has finally turned the corner properly, and should be owed more credit. Hopefully for the Lakers, their general manager will continue to prove himself as he presides over Doncic's prime years. The Lakers do not have a lot of wiggle room for mistakes in building around Luka. Pelinka can be afforded a small mistake or two. On the whole, though, the execution must be masterful. If it is not, fans will quickly dread the comfort zone that is being afforded to their team president. Luka Doncic rumor puts longtime Lakers starter on the hot seat. Luka Doncic wants to win now, and Rui Hachimura will make or break those efforts. Los Angeles Lakers superstar Luka Doncic has committed to at least 3 more seasons with the franchise. His current contract runs through the 2025-26 season, and the player option on the extension he signed will come up in 2028. With a finite period of time to prove to Doncic that he can achieve his championship dreams in Los Angeles, one player is officially on the hot seat, Rui Hachimura. Doncic's decision to sign an extension with the Lakers could have created a perhaps rational thought that patience would be a factor at play. With several key contracts set to expire in 2026, however, Doncic is determined to see Los Angeles capitalize on the opportunity to contend immediately. According to Dave McMenamin of ESPN, Doncic informed the Lakers that his goal is to return to the NBA Finals after leading the Mavericks to the championship round in 2024. "I don't want to wait," Doncic told The Table, a source familiar with the conversation told ESPN. "I had a taste of the finals. I am getting back there. So, let's do whatever we can now." Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and Gabe Vincent all have 8-figure annual salaries that are due to expire in 2026, leaving all three on the hot seat, particularly the starting forward. Rui Hachimura is officially on the hot seat as Luka Doncic aims to contend. Los Angeles acquired Hachimura in 2023 and has slotted the former Gonzaga star into a prominent role ever since. He started all but 2 games for the team in 2024-25, as well as 39 of his 68 appearances with the team in 2023-24. Hachimura has also started each of the Lakers' past 11 playoff games, during which time the team has unfortunately gone just 2-9. It'd be irrational to blame Hachimura for the team's lack of success, as his role is not exactly that of a featured star. Furthermore, he's coming off of a strong postseason during which he averaged 14.8 points and 2.6 three-point field goals made per game on .491/.484/1.000 shooting in 2025. If Hachimura fails to solidify his place as the 3-and-D forward that the Lakers need him to be, however, it's fair to question if they can justify re-signing him next summer. Hachimura is entering the final season of his current contract. He's set to make an expiring $18,259,259 and will become an unrestricted free agent next summer. As such, Los Angeles has been presented with a massive question: is it better to trade or attempt to re-sign Hachimura? Hachimura has a contract that would be easy to trade, talent that could create competition in free agency, and a key role that he'll need to prove he can adequately play. If Hachimura shows out and proves himself invaluable, the Lakers will be justified in keeping him on the roster through the 2026 NBA playoffs. If questions persist into early February about how close he can help Los Angeles get to contending, however, a trade could be just over the horizon. Hachimura is an undoubtedly solid player, but an expiring contract and an immediate desire to contend have put him squarely on the hot seat. Lakers will make NBA Finals if Luka Doncic's explosive history repeats itself. The Los Angeles Lakers superstar will have Eurobasket 2025 to properly prepare him for the 2025-26 NBA season. If the old adage of history being a great teacher is true, then the Los Angeles Lakers will be poised for an exceptional future in the 2025-26 NBA season. That all starts and ends with Luka Doncic, and how his participation at Eurobasket 2025 is about to set him up for a monstrous campaign. The biggest off-season storyline presently surrounding Doncic is that of his new contract extension with the Lakers. The 3-year, $165 million agreement between him and Los Angeles has officially taken the spotlight away from Luka's incredible body transformation this summer. Their looming story of Doncic's activity at Eurobasket, amid this busy summer, should prove even more valuable to the Lakers than a contract extension or off-season workout routine. Why would that be the case? Well, because last time one of Donic's summers included an international competition, the Slovenian superstar came back and turned in the most impressive season of his young NBA career. The Lakers will surely want history to repeat itself. Luka Donic's nuclear mode button has recharged for first time since 2023. In the summer of 2023, Donic represented the Slovenian national team at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. That year's international basketball competition featured some dazzling performances from the former Dallas Mavericks superstar. Donic posted 25 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game in the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 European qualifiers to secure his country's spot at the tournament. The superstar point guard continued his excellent performances once the main competition officially began. Donic averaged 27 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 6.1 assists per game at FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023. His performances were not strong enough to help Slovenia secure a medal. Still, Donic's country wound up finishing in a respectable 7th place among all competitors. A dominant 2023-24 NBA season for Donic and the Mavericks followed an impressive showing of summer hoops. Luka finished 3rd in MVP voting, trailing only Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Many will still argue about him being snubbed for that award to this day. Donic finished the 2023-24 season with the highest cumulative average of points, rebounds, and assists since the NBA-ABA merger in 1976. The former Mavericks guard posted 33.9 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 9.8 assists per game. Luka Donic cooks Rudy Gobert and hits a step-back game winner. Thanks in large parts to his efforts, Dallas secured a 50-win season and the 5th seed in the Western Conference. What followed was the first NBA Finals appearance for the franchise since 2011. That run ultimately ended with a Boston Celtics championship, but it was not for nothing. Donic was so great during the 2023-24 season that it forced many to question whether he had a claim to the title of best player in the NBA. The Lakers will hope Eurobasket 2025 sparks the same kind of success for Donic and the franchise in 2025-26 that the Mavericks got to enjoy. The only difference Los Angeles would hope for is the final result in the NBA Finals.